What is up? What is up? YouTube? How y'all doing? Yeah. Check this out, man. 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗞𝗦 leaks Menace to Society dark secrets. Nobody saw this coming. Man, now I done heard, I clicked on this joint and somebody sent it to me because I was talking about in Hollywood, man. Oh man, in order to make it in Hollywood, sometimes you gotta sleep with people that you don't want to sleep with. And there's a lot of rich men that's undercover that love, for lack of a better word, fresh meat. I think they got a thing, like a virgin. But if you Lord can't, that's like having a virgin, because you like boys. So I guess, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out as I go, because I don't even want to shake a man's hand. That's why I'm so glad when they start doing the pound. Yeah, I'm down with that. But anyway, my man in the t-shirt, I always liked him as an actor. The other guy was okay. He did his part or whatever. So, hey, y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, man, and let's see if I can get some more info out of this joint. Let's check it out.
Y'all remember that iconic 1993 flick, Menace to Society?
I bought the beer and I accidentally dropped it.
You bought the bottle of beer at 11:15.
That teen crime drama had everyone talking, with reviews going both ways. But here's the kicker. It was directed by the genius Hughes brothers. Yeah, the same ones who brought us Dead Presidents and
What? You listening to me? Look at him.
in the Book of Eli.
Out of the ground, we were taken.
Oh, the Book of Eli. I gotta watch that
We shall
again.
return.
Hey, in the Book of Eli, I didn't know Eli was blind the whole time. I gotta watch the whole movie because Denzel Washington the part he played, he was a blind person. I didn't know that. So I gotta watch the whole movie again.
You listening to me?
This is funny.
Look at him.
It's in the Book of Eli.
hell.
Out of the ground, we were taken. And to the dust we shall return.
Menace to Society was set in the gritty Watts and Crenshaw neighborhoods of L.A., following the life of Kane Lawson, Tyrone Turner, and his crew. But what's wild is that this movie gained notoriety for its raw portrayal of violence, profanity, and drug culture,
Dang, young.
while also getting critical acclaim for the performances, direction, and its real talk depiction of urban life.
Hey,
Yeah.
I want to know if you ready to do this. Yeah, break your fool.
Now, here's where things get real interesting. I'm
Okay.
about to spill some tea on the making of this movie. And trust me, it's
Oh,
about to
boy.
get weird. Like, seriously weird. We're talking 14 bizarre facts that'll leave you on the edge of your seat, wondering how this movie even came together.
I know
What
you ain't
the
dumb
heck?
enough to be showing the robbery tape, man. What's up with that?
Buckle up, y'all. Number 14. The Hughes brothers were skeptical about releasing the movie. Y'all won't believe the drama that went down when Tiger Williams and the Hughes brothers were cooking up the script for Menace to Society. They caught a glimpse of the commercials for Boys in the Hood 1991.
Oh, we got a problem here? We got a problem here? We got a problem, nigga?
Oh, what up with this?
And straight up freaked out, thinking their movie dreams were toast.
Bob Shane New Line decided to give this movie a chance. I wouldn't have said this in the past, but I think Boys in the Hood had a lot to do with it.
They thought, game over, our movie's been made already. But then they actually watched Boys and the Hood and were like, phew, we're good. See, they realized their movie, Menace to Society, was going for a whole different vibe. Dark, gritty, and nihilistic.
He wouldn't have put us here. I mean, look where we stay at. Soft.
While Boys and the Hood was
You remember that part? He said, he talking to his granddad. Your granddad, you some street dudes. Y'all rough. And y'all can't get that profanity out your mouth in respect his grand. He said, I don't believe in no God. For real. I mean, why would he put us here? I mean, in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Where people getting smoked all day long. I mean, that's fucked up. Oh, I'm sorry, Grandpa. That was funny.
Dark,
Oh, my
gritty,
God.
and nihilistic.
He wouldn't have put us here.
He wouldn't put us here.
Man, look where we stay at. It's all
While Boys and the Hood was all about hope and uplift. Two different worlds, two different messages.
And we wanted Menace to Society to be the antithesis. And we wanted to examine really why so many kids don't make it out and what are the reasons why they don't make it out.
Number 13. Some scenes were added to induce emotions. Y'all, check out this juicy behind-the-scenes secret. You know that emotional scene where Purnell visits Kane in the slammer?
How you doing, man? How come you ain't never come to see me?
Well, here's the 411. It was added to the script way later, like after New Line Cinema got their hands on it. Apparently, the studio was feeling like the movie was too dark, too gritty, and they wanted to inject some more heart and soul into it. They wanted it to be lighter, more uplifting, and all that jazz. So, the Hughes brothers went back to the drawing board and came up with that powerful prison visit scene. It's crazy to think about, but that scene, which is now a pivotal moment in the film, was almost never part of the story. But in the end, it added a whole new layer of depth to the movie, and we're all better off for it. Number 12. The F word was used a whooping 305 times in the movie. Get ready for a jaw-dropping stat. The F-bomb and its variations are dropped a whopping 305 times throughout the film.
What the is that?
That's right. The movie's dialogue is straight fire, and the profanity is off the charts. You've been warned. Number 11. MC8 ad-libbed most of his lines.
Don't be playing. Dog Kane, you hear what I'm saying? Kill him. Get the fuck back.
Here's a dope fact that's gonna blow your mind. MC8 took his role in the film to a whole new level by improving most of his lines.
What up, Kane Lobster? What's up? What up, bud at, boo?
He wanted to keep it real, keep it gangsta, and keep it authentic. So he drew from his own experiences to bring that gang life to the big screen.
So just having that experience of growing up in the hood and being in situations,
that's interesting.
A lot of I was able to ad-lib.
Think about it. When you're watching a movie about the streets, you want it to feel real, right? You want the actors to bring that fire, that passion, and that authenticity. And that's exactly what MC8 did.
To the wax boy.
That's interesting.
Could have did it much better.
He poured his heart and soul into his role, and it shows.
A lot of my words were not scripted. It was just natural feeling. And I think that is the reason why I was put in the movie.
By ad-libbing most of his lines, MC8 was able to tap into his own experiences and bring a level of realism to the film that's hard to match. He wasn't just reciting lines from a script. He was living the role, breathing it, and bringing it to life in a way that's both powerful and unforgettable. Number 10.
Okay.
The filmmakers were skeptical about making some scenes too graphic. Get ready for a major plot twist. You know the iconic love scene between Kane and Ronnie?
Hey, that's not cool.
Well, it almost didn't go down like that. In the original cut of the movie, they just shared a kiss and then it just cut away. But when audiences saw it at test screenings, they were like, nah, that's not enough. They booed, and the filmmakers were like, okay, let's give them what they want. So they went back and shot a whole love scene during reshoots.
There you go. I remember that.
But here's the thing. The Hughes brothers were low-key embarrassed about filming a sex scene. They didn't want to get too graphic, so they shot it in a way that made them feel comfortable. Talk about keeping it classy.
Yeah, they
Number
did.
9. The character who played O-Dog was initially rejected for the movie. Y'all, let me spill the tea.
That's
Lawrence,
my man. I like
the
him,
dude
Lawrence.
who killed it as O-Dog, wasn't exactly the producer's first choice. He didn't quite fit the mold. Know what I'm saying?
Big, black, buff guy.
played
He's
that
got
ball.
lacerations in his face and ashy knuckles, and he's going to play O-Dog. And so we were interviewing a lot of people for O-Dog, and we couldn't find him.
He'd already gotten the boot, but then they brought him back for another shot.
And finally
he
we told
was
our
the
casting
man.
director to bring in the tape of the rejects. And the first recheck was this kid came in.
And man, he crushed it.
He crushed
Turns
it.
out Lawrence might have had that squeaky clean Disney vibe going on.
I had this sort of Disney look, you know, this really fresh, young kid look.
But deep down, he's a Chicago boy through and through.
I'm originally from Chicago, so
No,
my interpretation of the guy was based on some guys that I had seen in Chicago.
He'd seen some real deal stuff go down in the streets, and that authenticity is what made his audition so fire.
The odds are against me, so I gotta flip this. I have to really go in there and knock it out. Nigga, you would sound like a little man.
When he came back for round 2, he nailed it. His swag, his mannerisms, everything was on point.
This kid was so spot on.
He was
in his mannerisms, body language, lingo, everything.
The producers were like, yo, this is our O-Dog.
He nailed it. You know, there's no way anybody else even come close to this.
And the rest, as they say, is history.
Said, this is yours. I didn't believe him, and I didn't think much of it until I got the call and they said that you landed the part. And this was my first film. I had never done a movie.
Number 8. The initial script of the movie faced massive rejection. It's time to spill some tea about a pivotal moment in film history.
Be here tomorrow night about 10:30.
I'm sorry. Are you sure you meet tomorrow night?
The script for this iconic movie was written before the 1992 Los Angeles riots shook the nation. But when the Hughes brothers took it to studios, they were faced with a tough decision.
Los Angeles was a hotbed for gang activity, drugs, and police brutality. It just wasn't a good environment to be a black male anywhere.
Many studios wanted to tie the riots into the story, but the brothers refused. They didn't want to make a profit off people's pain, especially when the wounds were still fresh. That took guts, right? As a result, the script collected dust for a minute. Studios weren't feeling the brothers' vision, and it seemed like the project was doomed. But the Hughes brothers held tight to their artistic integrity, and eventually, their perseverance paid off.
What we were trying to do was take a slice of reality.
Number 7. A funeral scene was axed out. You know what's wild? Turner's cousin getting killed in the movie was supposed to be a major plot point, and the producers had a whole funeral scene planned out.
Well, we had a funeral for my cousin, and everybody crying and all kind of stuff. I think that they felt like it was an overkill. You know?
We're talking tears, wails, the whole nine, with the casket front and center. But at the last minute, the producers were like, nah, this is too much. They decided to axe the whole funeral scene and just move on. Talk about a major plot twist.
Really need to go to the funeral and show him in the casket and all that kind of stuff. It was an overkill. You seen him get his brain blowed out right there in the car. That's enough. Move on. You feel me? Like.
Number 6, Menace to Society was the inspiration behind Grand Theft Auto. Yo, talk about a major connection. Clifton Powell, MC8, and the legendary Samuel L. Jackson all played roles in Menace to Society. But what's even more dope is that they later brought the heat as major villains in the iconic video game Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, which dropped in 2004.
You're too skinny, CJ. You need to pack on some muscle.
If I wanted nagging, I'll buy a clockwork wife.
Just looking out for you, homie.
But here's the thing, Menace 2 Society was actually one of the main inspirations behind the game. That's right, the streets of Watts and the gritty world of Menace 2 Society helped shape the game's dark and intense vibe. Mind blown, right? Number 5. Tyrone Turner had the face, but didn't have the acting chops. Y'all won't believe the tea. According to the producers, Tyrone Turner was the clear frontrunner to play Kane. The dude's got that face, you feel me?
Tyrone Turner wasn't even a professional actor, but he had this look that I think everybody could kind of vicariously live through. We got a lot of resistance from New Line because he was a raw talent at the time.
But allegedly, his acting skills were straight trash. The first rehearsal was a hot mess, a total train wreck.
The first rehearsal was kind of a disaster. He wasn't ready, and everybody wondered, oh, wow, is this guy going to be able to do the part?
But here's the plot twist. They brought in a coach to whip him into shape.
But we got him a coach, and by the time we were shooting, he was game.
If you hold it like this and pull a trigger.
Talk about a comeback kid. Number 4. The movie almost gave a complete process on how to make crack. Y'all, gather round. I got a juicy secret that's about to blow your mind. So you know that intense scene in Menace 2 Society where Kane's whipping up some crack? Well, here's the tea. The studio made the Hughes brothers tone it down. Apparently, the original scene was way too real, too authentic. It was like a step-by-step cookbook on how to make crack was like, we can't have that. So, they made the brothers edit it down. Wild, right? Number 3,
That's
Tupac
crazy.
and Jada kept getting cozy on set.
Whoa.
Yo, listen up. You might not know this, but Jada and Pac had a crazy playful vibe going on set.
When I seen Tupac and Jada, they was wrestling.
What you mean wrestling?
Like homies, like you know how you wrestle your homeboy, like say Jada running and Tupac chase her and then he grab her and they wrestling like in a fun way.
They'd been homies since high school, and their friendship was real deal.
Now, from what I heard from a couple of people I interviewed, that her and Tupac, who had been friends from high school, were like...
But here's the thing. They'd always get into these intense, playful wrestling matches. It was like they were trying to one-up each other, get comfy, and get in the zone. But let me tell you, it got next level uncomfortable. I mean, on the first day of filming, Pac and Jada went at it, and it was like a real-life action scene.
Comes to rehearsals, and he sees Jada. I don't remember which one ran to who, but sees...
Pac flipped Jada like a rag doll and caught her midair. The whole cast and crew were gasping, trying to figure out what was going on.
The wind thing where the hair was blowing and they weren't tongue kissing, but it just was in a rapture of love. No one knows about Baltimore School of Arts or no one knows that. No one knows they ever knew each other. So everyone there was just mystified at the...
But here's the kicker. It was all love. They were just showing off their crazy chemistry, and it was hilarious. Only Pac and Jada could make a wrestling match look like a love fest. Number 2, Tupac got into serious legal trouble for assault. Get ready for some explosive tea. The story behind Tupac Shakur's role in the movie is about to get real. Pac was originally cast as Sharif, but things went left fast. See, Pac's character was supposed to make a major transformation, turning Muslim, and Pac wasn't having it.
So he wanted them to write in the script why he turned Muslim. Show why.
He'd show up on set, and every time they'd do table readings, Pac would blow up, asking why his character had to go through that change.
You get me? Pac would always be, he would always have something to say during the, we would never get through a reading without him stopping and wanting to voice his opinion about his character.
The Hughes brothers weren't ready for that kind of drama, and it was clear Pac was going to be a problem.
Coming every time we had a table read. Every time we would get there, I would just wait for it because I knew Pac wasn't even a part of the movie when we started shooting. Because after he disrupted so many table reads, they knew they wasn't finna with him.
So they made the call. Pac was out, and Vontae was in.
I never saw him at the movie set when we started shooting. They had already brought in Vontae.
Pac felt played, thinking they never wanted him in the movie in the first place. And let's just say he had every right to be heated.
And I think, like I said, he felt disrespected because he knew the Hughes brothers. He had worked with them on previous projects.
An argument went down, and Pac dipped out, leaving the set for good.
And so Tupac and Allen went outside. They did what they did. They chopped it up. And Tupac never came back in.
So I said, okay, cool. Fire me from this $100,000 movie. Because I ain't gonna play no gangbanger who's a Muslim. There ain't no such thing. I refuse to play parts that don't exist.
But here's the thing.
Ain't no such
One
thing.
of the Hughes brothers said Pac was being unbearable because he didn't want to be held down by the movie's script.
Tupac was at a place in his life where he just couldn't be put into any kind of box.
Newsflash, Pac. That's what movie making is all about. Following the script and playing by the rules.
And when you're making a movie, that's what that is.
Right.
It's a box.
It's a script.
It's a script.
Yeah,
there are
it's tight.
guardrails. There are like...
Pac never wanted that. And it's a crying shame because he would have brought that fire to the role.
Even when we stepped aside and had some private words, it was like, dude, this is like every minute you're blowing up and erupting.
Number 1, Tupac got into serious legal trouble for assaulting the Hughes brothers. You thought the drama was over?
That's
Think
crazy.
again. Pac had just gotten the boot from the set, and things were already heated between him and the Hughes brothers. But then, Pac shows up in the music video for 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗞𝗦 by Spice One, chilling in the background with his homies.
Ain't no good and I'm taking up a hobby.
But here's where things take a wild turn. After filming, Pac rolls up to the set, greets some of the cast.
We're filming a video. Tupac come up. I don't know if Alan was right there at the time, but he came up. He gave people dap on.
And then dips out for a hot sec. Next thing you know, a whole crew of dudes storms the scene, and they're going at Alan Hughes, one of the directors.
Alan getting beat by like 10 people. I hear.
Was Tupac one of those 10?
Yes.
Tupac is right in the thick of it, and Albert Hughes, the other twin brother, is scrambling to get out of there.
Seeing Albert, his brother, run, he left the scene. He went toward the freeway, a 101 freeway, exiting.
So he ditched his twin brother.
What? He fled. I heard.
Damn.
Next time you fire a man. Everybody, over.
The Hughes brothers had had enough, and Pac got hit with assault and battery charges.
Hughes brothers ended up suing Tupac.
Right.
But Pac wasn't having it, and he actually bragged about the whole ordeal on Yo MTV Raps.
Did it in a roundabout punk snitch way. So I caught them on the streets and beat they behind. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
I was a menace to the Hughes brothers.
Big mistake, because they played that tape at his trial, and Pac ended up getting sentenced to 15 days in the slammer.
The same time in the lobby, and then Tupac was like, "I'll beat your ass again, this thug life." And Johnny Cochran was like, "Tupac, calm down, Tupac."
Yeah. It's a straight up fact that Menace to Society was a box office smash, raking in a whopping $29.5 million worldwide. The movie was on fire, snagging award after award, including the coveted Best Movie Award. And it was nominated for even more, solidifying its spot as a cinematic masterpiece. But here's the thing. Despite all the wild and crazy facts surrounding the movie, it didn't stop it from being a huge success. Nah, it actually added to the hype, making Menace to Society the iconic film it is today.
You ain't gotta be creeping. I don't know why you trying to act like you cleaning up.
And get this, even Kanye West is a huge fan of the movie. In 2013, he revealed on the Bret Easton Ellis podcast that Menace to Society is one of his most watched favorite films of all time. The impact of this movie is still being felt, and it's truly sensational.
Man, that was interesting right there, man. Menace to Society. My man, Terrence Tate, he played that part, man. That was my man right there. Because of that movie, I thought he acted like that for real. And then he was in another movie where he was an undercover police officer with the guy, I forgot his name. Golly, man. He's a great actor. I like the way he act, man. You think that's weight? You think that these dudes moving 50 tons a month? That ain't no weight up there. The guy was up in the attic. He said, man, you see that dude? They pulled his tongue through his throat. So he was hiding in the attic when him and the police came to get the guy. I forgot the name of that movie. Look here, man. I'm gonna get on up out of here. That was a treat for me, man, because I like them. I like all them guys as an actor and everything. But I thought they were gonna talk about something else, and I'm hoping it's just a rumor. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.